Hello there, YouTube. This is Chuck, and as you can tell, I'm coming to you from my truck. And one of the reasons why I'm sitting in here is I was going to try to shoot this outside, but it's pretty noisy where we're at. We're right near the freeway, and I'll tell you a little bit about that maybe in another video. But we got home a little bit ago from my friend Chuck's memorial service, which is the reason why we came over here. We're in Santa Barbara, California right now, and I'll do another video about the memorial service as well. But on this one, I want to talk a little bit about the trip over here. It took us 2 days to get here. We left home and drove about 250 miles to Parker, Arizona, stayed overnight in a state park. And that's a route we'd taken several times before, so none of that was new to us. And we were familiar with the state park, so it was just basically going someplace where we went before. We went out and had a nice dinner at a pirate-themed restaurant bar complex. The restaurant part's called the Black Pearl. I had believe it or not, I had a PB&J bacon cheeseburger, and it was delightful. That's not necessarily everybody's taste, but I thought it was wonderful, and I'd have it again in a heartbeat. I put a picture of it up on my community page if you want to go look at that if you haven't seen it. But anyway, yesterday was the big push to get over here. That'd be Saturday the 11th. And it was about 360-mile day, which is longer than I like to drive. And we wanted to stay out of the LA basin as much as we could. So what we did is we went from Parker. We drove across to 29 Palms and Yucca Valley, and then on across to Victorville, and then Lancaster, and then down through the mountains on California 14. We're on freeway then, 4 lanes either way. And then back a little jog back up I-5 to Santa Clarita, and then down to Ventura on the coast, and then up to Santa Barbara from there. About 360 miles, long day. I've often said about California, the only thing wrong with California, it's a beautiful state, and the only thing wrong with California is it's been so nice that there's just too darn many Californians. If there wasn't as many people here, it'd be a pretty nice place like it used to be. But this trip across the through the north side of the mountains was, I'd only been on part of it before, so part of it was new. And there was a couple things that really impressed me, and some things that impressed me the wrong direction too. But it's amazing how you can be going across that open, barren desert, and within an hour, all of a sudden, you're on an 8-lane freeway with a whole bunch of people trying to go both directions to try to get someplace where they need to be that they're not. And Californians in general, I think, are pretty good drivers. They drive fast, and so it's a busy highway. And in California, of course, if you're towing a trailer, the speed limit is 55. And I actually like that because other than that, you're trying to keep up with traffic, and you're just driving faster than I feel comfortable to drive anyway. So we had two couples. If you saw my video I did before about my friend Chuck's passing, and my other friend Warner and his wife, who were in that video or where I talked about before, they were with us in their trailer. My wife had made reservations here at a little RV park right in Santa Barbara, and that's where we're at right now. Like I say, I'll talk about that a little bit more. But the trip, we went across from Yucca Valley across to Victorville. We went through a place that I hadn't been before, and that place, Johnson Valley. Now, any of you that have been into rock crawling or Jeep stuff are probably familiar with Johnson Valley. And there's a huge off-road event, 2 weeks long, every year, that's called King of the Hammers. And when we came across there Saturday, that was the last day of the King of the Hammers, and everybody was leaving. And that was the most amazing thing, because I knew about Johnson Valley. I wasn't sure exactly where it was, and I'd never been there. And we drove right past the main thing, and there were hundreds of RVs leaving, and rock crawler vehicles on trailers, and UTVs on trailers, and the vendors are leaving. So the traffic was for a 2-lane road. The traffic in that area was pretty bad, and the dust was horrendous. But it was interesting to see that, and I almost felt like I was a part of it, and we were part of the exodus of everybody leaving. But like I say, it's amazing. You can drive across that open desert, and there's hardly anybody there, and then an hour later, you're on this freeway. And so we made good time. We got in here at about 3:30 local time, which is about 4:30 our time. We were beat. We're not young people anymore, and that's a long drive and dealing with the traffic. And, my friend Warner and his wife, they were following their nav device, and their navigation device told them to take a wrong turn, and so they kind of got crossed up at one point, and they got in here about, I don't know, about 10-15 minutes behind us. We lost track up on the freeway, but we're going to leave in the morning. We're going to do the opposite direction, the same route. We're going to get back over to Parker. So I'll go ahead and wrap this one up for right now, and everything's fine. The service was very nice. It was a celebration of life. It wasn't really a funeral per se, and that pretty well fit my friend Chuck's personality. There was probably 30 or 40 people there, and it was a nice event. But it's over with now, and I'm not real comfortable going to stuff like that. So I was glad I went, but I'm glad it's over, and we got to meet with his widow, and she's a sweetheart. We love her to death. And so with that, I'll let you go. As I always tell you, be kind to each other, love each other. We'll come back again and talk real soon about some other subjects about the trip. But so far, everything's fine. Our rigs both did just fine. I have got acquainted with gas prices in California, and they're horrible. And so other than that, let you go for now. I'll just say peace out, and we'll catch you here again in pretty quick.